Roy Gaunt of Shelbyville, Illinois, has spent most of his life around agriculture and farming, so it was only natural that when he was looking for something to do a few years ago, he flipped through a farming magazine and was instantly attracted to an article about a man who makes display tractors from sewing machines.
I looked at that and, well, I could do that. So I made one and it looked pretty good, so I made some more, and then I got to finding, people would want them, and found more sewing machines, so I just kept at it.
Now, 50 tractors later, Roy is well immersed in the hobby.
First you tear the sewing machine clear apart, and then I wash and clean them up and decide what tractor they're good for. Some work better for a certain brand of tractors rather than another brand. Then I start putting it back together, using all the parts that I can, like needle shafts and the covers, access covers, I try to use them. The bobbin plate I use to make a platform on the rear end if I can. Then I drill the holes for the axle shafts. Then they're painted. The tires, the front wheels are normally a Nerdle tire that I get from a Nerdle supplier. And the rear wheels are 6-inch lawnmower wheels. And most of the time I gotta repaint them because they're always white. And then you just put everything together and hope it works.
Roy uses just about any kind of sewing machine to make his tractors, but says the simple ones work best.
It works better if they don't have a lot of doodads and adjustments and stuff on them. But old Singers work good, that old type do. The newer ones work good like the tractors you have here. The newer sewing machines, but most of them don't have a lot of the adjustments and extra things on them.
Roy gets the sewing machines he uses from auctions, yard sales, and his customers.
A lot of them come from people that have a sewing machine. Well, can you make this into a certain type tractor? So probably a third to a half of them come from that source. And they want the same machine back. It's been in their families for years, or they have a special attachment to it, so they want, use my sewing machine.
So, how does Roy decide which sewing machine should be used for each tractor? Well, a little imagination, he says, is all you need.
You look at it and see what it looks like. I know what the tractors look like, and like that white tractor has a distinctive front end, and the International tractor that's back there wouldn't look very good with a white paint job, so the front end's not right. So you try to match it, you got to use your imagination, but it kind of, you look at it and think about it, it comes out.
Roy has made everything from John Deere to Case to Oliver tractors and beyond. It takes him about 2 weeks to get one finished, and he usually gets about $70 for one. But for Roy, it's not about the money.
Well, I think the best part's when people come to pick them up. You get some stories behind them. And plus, it's something that I can pick up and do, and if I want to drop it, I can leave it. And, I don't lose anything. I can come back and pick it up where I left off. And, if I spend 2 hours a day on it, you can do quite a bit. So, it's just something different to do. It's related to agriculture, which is what I grew up in. So, plus I like tractors and so forth. So, it's just kind of a hobby, I guess.
Roy's hobby keeps him busy. So busy, in fact, that he barely has time to make and keep any of the tractors for himself.
I've got one that's a junkyard dog. And it's a machine that didn't look like it would fit anything. So I just got together a half a dozen cans of paint and just sprayed it any which way, put a crooked exhaust pipe on it, And I'd like to make a 70 for myself, which is a tractor that I upset when I was almost 21. But other than that, I just do it for other people.
Those people that Roy makes the tractors for generally have one thing in common.
They're mostly ag-related people, and most of them are looking for something. Well, what do you buy your husband after you've been married to him 40 years or 50 or whatever? And this is something that's different, especially if they still farming or involved with farming or have been. So, it's just kind of a natural progression. They're not an actual tractor, but put your imagination to work, they come out pretty good.
Roy says he'll continue to make the tractors for anyone who wants one, but parting with them, well, it isn't always such sweet sorrow.
Most of the time when I get one made, I just soon keep it, but that's kind of impractical, so. And I like, people really enjoy them.